Hello, I'm Darin Crapo, and welcome to the UFO Planet News Report. Today we are following these stories. California snowcat operator spots UFO passing over the mountains, captures on film. Observers in Cheyenne and Fort Collins, Colorado, capture footage of the same UFO. And a woman in Las Vegas captures footage of an object passing in front of the moon. That's coming up right now on UFO Planet.
An object which is in the same place all the time, but it just needs to be tagging along with it.
Sunday, March 14th at approximately 1900 hours, an observer stepped out of his snowcat to stretch and noticed an object in the corner of his eye. At first, he thought it was maybe a bird, but it was way too big. He says there was no sound coming from the object, so that eliminates a plane or a helicopter. It was too windy for a glider and too windy for a paraglider. A significant storm was rolling in that night, and the object still maintained its path. The observer reports he could see a kind of a mist or aura around the object, especially on the video. He says it seemed like it would level out or turn 360 degrees back and forth and was moving as it was flying. As you can see, he was in a valley, so if there was any sound, he would have heard it, and there was no sound. There were no lights, but appeared to have some sort of aura, as he mentioned before. The observer says the strange events did not end with the sighting. On March 17th, days later, around 2100 hours, he was in his snowcat again at the highest point of the trails he grooms when the speakers in the snowcat started to crackle and the music started to mesh with itself. He was listening to a downloaded song on his iPhone since there was no service out there. It was very calm that night when suddenly snow and wind abruptly surrounded his snowcat. This continued for about a minute and then went back to being calm again, and music went back to normal. This could have been a coincidence, he says, but he also says that he had a very strange feeling when it happened. The observer is currently working with UFO investigators who are examining the evidence.
UFO Planet.
In this next UFO story, a group of people were leaving work from their night shift in Cheyenne, Wyoming, when a long light high in the sky captured their attention. The observer says the light was super long, was traveling slower than a meteor, and faster than an aircraft.
What is that?
What the f*** is that?
What is that?
I'm videoing it.
Yeah, me too. What is that?
I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can.
Yo, what? What is that?
Dude, that's trippy as f***.
What is that?
Hi.
The observer says the light took about 3 to 4 minutes to cross the sky and then appeared to split. At that point, they could see what looked like the tail of the two split objects. The rear of the objects were very bright, almost like they had fire coming out the end. Now look at this video captured just this morning in Fort Collins, Colorado. Look familiar? Clearly the same lights that were viewed from Cheyenne. This observer says that at 5:38 a.m. this morning, the 24th of March, 2021, he went out front of his house to warm up his truck before gym and noticed a very bright white line of lights approximately 500 feet above the ground, moving along approximately over Horsetooth Mountain Reservoir. The UFO was moving slowly in the north direction. He says it did not appear to be the Starlink satellites, as this object was flying low. When you put the videos side by side, they are both the same object, very clear. If it's not the Starlink satellites, what do you think this could be?
UFO Planet.
And I ain't never gonna
Anytime the moon is showing over Las Vegas, Nevada, there is a Facebooker who does a live mooncast. Twice now while doing her show, she has captured large objects passing in front of the moon. The most recent event took place on March 22nd when the footage you are looking at now was captured. People capture footage of objects passing in front of the moon more often than you'd think. The argument always ends up being whether the objects are something flying inside the atmosphere or above the atmosphere. Sometimes they look like satellites, sometimes birds, some look like airplanes, and we have even seen boomerang-looking objects. And then, of course, there are those objects that are just hard to distinguish. The object recorded on March 22nd tends to have the shape many would associate with an unidentified flying object or a UFO. Does that mean it is a UFO? Well, technically it is a UFO until it can be identified.
UFO Planet.
3 kind of fascinating UFO stories today. Thanks everyone for watching. I think if I had to pick my favorite, I would go with the snowcat operator. That was probably a very amazing experience for that guy. His snowcatting days will never be the same. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'm Darin Crapo. I hope to see everyone back again to join me again on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching.